What's happening, world? Welcome back again to the DUDEPOOL Gamescast. I'm the host with the most, the dude. 250. You know me as Nicky D. We're hanging out on this couch again with my friend and confidant and heterosexual life mate. Aliens exist. Taylor Sager.
Hey, guys.
Coming all the way from the UK, looking beautiful as ever. His name online is Brutal Nature, but you can call him Danny Peel. How you doing, you sexy little fucker?
I'm beautiful, as you said, and as usual, I'm happy to be here with my two gentlemen friends.
Mm-hmm.
Your balls?
Yeah, and you guys too.
Oh, nice. Nice. How's everybody's week's been?
Good, man. Good.
Long, yeah. Lots of work.
Yeah, it's been a long one.
Lots of work, lots of division.
Oh yeah, put in the grind.
Yeah,
that was the
hard,
work.
guys.
Put in the grind.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's
Totally.
been fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it's a great game. We're loving it. We're loving it.
We're
But
loving it.
that's not the topic today. The topic today is brought to you by our pal, the video game Schwarzenegger, Taylor Sager. What's happening, homie? What are we talking about?
I wanted to talk to you guys about the future of gaming.
Whoa!
Like with jetpacks and shit. No, I mean, next gen is kind of what I was looking at here. I know that there's nothing really solid coming out so far for the other consoles, for the next gen consoles. But yeah, I wanted to go over kind of what you guys wanted, I guess, out of it. Also, if just a jump in graphics and processing power or whatever, kind of like what the PS3 to PS4 sort of jump is going to be enough for you to feel like you need another console. And also just, other things that you want added in there, like if VR is going to be like a crucial part of it, and other sort of aspects of what we want the future of our next consoles to be looking like, sort of thing is kind of what I was thinking. What do you think about that there, buddy?
Me?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think we're probably a good 6 years away from hearing anything about any new consoles.
The NX is coming in the next 2 years.
Sure, I don't consider that a next gen.
Me neither, to be honest.
You don't think? But
No.
it's got
The Wii U
industry-leading chips.
The Wii U is comparable to a PS3 and 360. This NX is, I'm guessing, gonna be maybe slightly more graphically inclined, or not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably
I doubt it
not.
still isn't even as graphically powerful as the new Xbox and
Yeah,
and PS4. So no, I don't consider that a next gen console. I think Nintendo's just catching up.
Yeah, I think so too. And they usually release in like the off season or whatever, right? They usually come out before or like in between the other people who put out next gen, right? Is that usually what happens? Like the Wii came out before the 360. The Wii U came out before the PS4, correct?
Right, but I think that was the start of that trend. Before
Right.
they were the
Yeah, it
industry
seemed to be.
leaders,
Well,
right? Kind of.
Obviously, yeah.
No, well, yeah, I guess not before.
Gamescast came out after PS2 quite a bit.
Yeah,
didn't
I
it?
think. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and the GameCube, I think.
Yeah,
Between or whatever.
that's
don't
what I
know.
meant.
Virtual
Sorry.
Boy.
Yeah, the virtual. Yeah. Yeah, but I think like so far the rumors I've heard about the NX are that it's gonna be locked at 720p and 60 frames. Again, just rumors.
Yeah,
Those
so
are-
not next gen.
Not next gen.
Not
at all.
even fucking current gen.
Not well. That's what the Xbox does some of the time for most games.
Yeah.
But again, still not
Not
nothing
current gen.
crazy.
Not current gen. Period.
And to say that those are industry leading chips is again a little bit of a stretch. But they
Depends what chips they're talking about. Processing power or
Potato?
graphics.
Yeah. But the one thing about the NX that I'm hearing that is really cool, that I like about this is that there's rumors that there might be a subscription service instead of just getting the console.
I don't know. We did a whole episode on NX rumors.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like, I thought we were speculating about.
We
Stuff that
didn't
we don't
really
know.
we didn't actually end up doing that topic. We ended up doing something else. But
that whole we did.
We talked about it though. We've
but
definitely.
yeah, we did.
at length.
But the NX, the subscription service is really interesting to me because it's something that's a little bit different than just throwing out another console and being like, hey, here you go, you've got like a little bit of extra processing power or whatever, and like a new controller or whatever the fuck Nintendo's going to try and do with that shit. But I like this subscription service idea where they're saying that streaming the games, you can get it to be better because the components in the like the PS4 or whatever that you're going to be using to do it on is going to be higher grade shit or whatever is the idea. But the idea is that you pay a monthly subscription fee and you can play the NX games on a different console or on a PC.
So it's like a PlayStation Now service.
It's just like PlayStation Now, except it'll be available on the other consoles, right? Like you can only use PlayStation Now on a PlayStation console.
You're telling me I'll be able to play Nintendo games on a PlayStation?
I'm not telling you it's going to happen, all right?
It's not. I'm telling you it's not going to happen.
But this whole idea has got me thinking about like different ways that you can get this next gen to go, right? And to kind of make it more open for other people to play together, which is really exciting to me. Especially, I mean, I don't know about the NX, the games that are even going to come out for the NX, and I mean, third-party games on Nintendo things are never really, or haven't been that great in the last little while at least. So I'm not really too worried about that kind of shit. So
I think we're about a month away from getting all the answers we need from NX at E3 in May.
Yeah, you think they're gonna just like lay everything out on it?
They're gonna tell us fucking everything. It's supposed to come out.
I think they're
at
already
the end of this year.
They're already manufacturing them, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out around Christmas time.
Right.
I think something
Right.
that. So I mean, I don't really want to speculate anymore.
Yeah, that was just like an opening thing to get into what I wanted to talk about the other consoles, because I mean that console's obviously going to come out in the next year or whatever, the year and a half, or maybe this year. But for the new consoles that are going to be a while ahead of that one, I was kind of thinking about what sort of like special things you wanted to add into that, like this whole subscription service that NX is like maybe going to try to adopt. I like that idea of like just an over-the-top sort of like out-of-the-box idea that's not really been associated with a console previously.
I don't think that idea is going to take off yet. We're not there yet. I don't think the consumers are there yet. I think they're still in a physical landscape. Digital's, it's taking off, but I don't think people want to stream. Nobody's doing PlayStation Now, stuff like that. Like, I just don't think that's going to take off yet.
Yeah.
I don't think the tech's there yet. Like, I just don't.
Would you do if it were like if the streaming was working, let's say as good or a bit better than PlayStation Now, would you get the subscription service over paying $300 for an NX or $400 for a brand new NX?
No, I'd still get the console.
You'd get the console over it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do. I don't know what I would do in that opinion. But I mean, I also don't know what the controller for the NX is going to be, because I'm also kind of worried about what sort of interface they're going to have with that, because I don't think it's going to be just like a regular controller.
I don't care. I mean, we're right back at the NX. I don't know anything about the NX yet.
We don't know anything about any of these consoles. It's kind of the whole topic.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I thought we weren't talking about the NX. You said we weren't.
Well, it's just like, okay, we're getting back to it because it's I'm still trying to get over this hurdle with you about trying to think about ideas that are outside of the box for other consoles.
Right. Well, I think if we're talking about a PlayStation 5 or the next Xbox, obviously VR is going to be integrated into it. Whether Xbox does the HoloLens stuff, probably. That's probably a good 5 or 6 years away from where they want that tech to be.
Right.
Because it's still a tiny little frame in those glasses or whatever. But I think if VR takes off like they want it to, it's going to have to be bundled in. I also think that in 5 or 6 years, when VR has taken off, there'll be a lot more like the HTC Vive. All of them will, probably.
With the motion controllers and stuff?
Well, I mean, they already have the controllers. Each one has their own motion controllers to them. It's more of being able to move around and duck and like have that area. Exactly. But I think that will be a bit less cumbersome as well 5 or 6 years down the road, right? Yeah. You might not have to have that 40-minute setup that the Vive seems to have where you're setting up 2 or 3 different cameras to capture a physical space, right? But
so for like release dates for these, for like let's say a PlayStation 5, what are you thinking? You're thinking like 2020, 2019?
Typically consoles have on average a 7-year lifespan.
Right.
So when did this come out? PlayStation 4 3 years ago?
I don't know, 2012 maybe.
2013.
Right, and I think these ones are going to have a bit longer of a life cycle than the last generation.
I think they'll have a bit shorter of a life cycle.
Yeah.
Because the last one was like 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, the last one was longer.
Yeah, okay. This one's going to be a bit shorter than I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Probably. Because the jump from PlayStation 3 to 4 wasn't that massive, but we're on that road now where 4K is going to be a thing and all this other shit's going to be a thing that they can then work into a new console and give people that reason to purchase a brand new one. I think they need to have a finite amount of reasons for people to want a new console for them to warrant making one, right? So I think once 4K catches up and I mean, graphics cards get better by the fucking day and shit like that. So I mean, that's not a big deal, but processing power and then the added having VR built into it, I think that once they hit that mark, then we'll start to hear talk about new consoles.
So you think that that's going to be what we're going to have for another console kind of thing? Like not necessarily just 4K and a new controller and some more processing power, but you're thinking that we need to actually have this jump into VR.
I don't think we have to have it. I just think that's the way the industry's going. So I think it will happen.
Yeah, but so if they were to put out a PS5 in 2 years that had 4K, no VR, and a little bit more RAM.
No, wouldn't buy it.
Wouldn't buy it.
No, fuck no. Not for a little bit of higher resolution. That's silly.
See that, but the thing is, between the jump between the PS3 and the PS4, that's like essentially what you're looking at, right?
No,
you're looking at some processing power. That's what I said, but that's what I meant by a little bit of RAM or a little bit extra processing power is what I should.
It's not a little bit though. It's significant.
A little bit extra processing power, and
it's significant, man. Like the jump from PS3 to PS4 is significant. Even
huge.
Surfing through the main menu, like it used to lag.
Okay.
Going into YouTube used to be like a 3 or 4 minute event. You'd have to close programs. This can open and keep programs running, your games running, shit like that. It's significant, man.
Okay. So is that like you would think that would be like your selling point on this one?
On
the
this
PS4?
one?
On the PS4 to the PS3, the ability to do things faster and be a little bit more streamlined.
And cross game chat and party chat and all the added features I think are and the share button and how it's integrated into there is huge. Like how many pictures have you taken with that share button now, right? Like I think that shit is huge.
No, it's great. Yeah, the sharing and all that kind of shit is great.
I think the digital market is much better now, and like loading the store on the PS3 was a 10-minute event.
Loading your trophies just didn't happen.
And so that's like, it's not just a small little jump in processing power and RAM. It's everything.
Yeah, it is a different experience, and I get where you're coming from there. That is true. I guess that's a good point. I never really thought about that. That is a solid idea.
On top of that, the graphics, like you couldn't run compare any the games that came out on the two consoles, PS3, PS4. The graphical comparison is insane.
Yeah, but I mean, if you looked at like let's say The Last of Us and then the remastered version of The Last of Us for PS4, it's not a huge jump. I mean, it's 60 frames instead of 30.
Well, there's a lot of bells and whistles that are turned off for the PS3, like plume effects and shit like that, man.
Oh, really?
That's the same game, though. It's not really a fair comparison, is it? It's basically the same thing.
No, but I'm just talking about... What do you mean?
It's just like an up-res.
Yeah, it's like it's a remaster, so it's not a good comparison. But like you were saying, the Division.
You're talking about one that's built for PS4
the Division,
but been downgraded to PS3?
No, he means like I should have compared The Last of Us to like Second Son. Because
no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, look at those games like Destiny that came out on PS3 and PS4, and compare the two, man. They're totally like graphically uncomparable.
Yeah, I never played Destiny on PS3.
Lots of edges, jagged.
Lots of jaggies, man. Lots of like, it's not the same.
So like, in 4 or 5 years, what sort of like graphics do you think that we're going to be looking at here? Like, do you think that we're getting close to the end of like what we're looking at for like screen graphics? Do you think it's going to be more VR and stuff? Like
well, I think it's the same thing, really. The graphics are always going to get better.
Always, yeah.
They're always going to get better until they're like we'll never have photorealism. I don't think not in our lifetime. I don't think we'll ever have photorealistic games. But I think VR is the big game changer right now. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Right? I don't think graphics need to change all that much if the experience changes so vastly different from VR to just sitting here with a controller in our hand. I think it's fucking exciting. Like, video games haven't changed a lot since the inception of video games, like Pong and shit like that. You still have to have a controller in your hand, and that is how you manipulate what you see on the screen. And I think technology, like we've all been there. We've all collectively been like, hey, I want to be in this game. How do I do that? I hold this controller. Okay. But now that you can actually put this headset on, technology is finally catching up to where we've always kind of wanted to be in the fucking game. right? And so that's super exciting to me, and I think that has to be the way the industry goes.
You can't
what we all
ignore it, yeah. But
been thinking.
in the 90s, they had like those fucking Virtual Boys or whatever. You know, you're fucking,
yeah, I had the headset. Not like I went to those cafe stations
Right.
that had the pods that you stand in and play
Right.
Quake 2 and shit. But.
right. But I mean, like we saw that like have a huge, I guess, kind of like
That was a gimmick.
yeah, gimmicky sort of like thing where people were like, "Oh my god, VR, it's the future. Like let's put this headset on and we can get in the game." And then it just died for like 10, 15 years because the
tech wasn't
there. Do you think that we're going to actually get it to the point where they're going to want to like they're obviously mass producing these motherfuckers right now. But do you think they're going to like bundle it, like create a console that's going to be primarily a VR console? And then bundle this together and then have, let's say, a regular controller like this just in case your VR thing dies or you don't feel like wearing it and you're going to use it on the TV just for shits and gigs.
Well, I think the Oculus Rift relies on the controller. They all rely on a controller
Right.
like this for 90% of their games probably, except
Right.
for experiences that are being built primarily for VR and those little hand thingies, right? So, of course, I do think that. I think PlayStation VR is going to rely heavily on their PlayStation controllers and the PlayStation Move series.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if Xbox 360 can make a Kinect bundle, I don't see why a PlayStation VR would be such a stretch.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
but like a primary console. That's what I mean. Like bundling the PS4 with the PlayStation VR is probably going to happen. Like that's
No, I mean like for the next iteration too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like do you think it's only going to be in those bundles? That's what I mean. Like we're not looking at like they're not going to sell the PS5 without the VR. Like you want the VR with your PS5. It's a VR console and you can use it without the VR, but it's a VR console. That's kind of what I'm asking. Do you think that that's going to be the next console is a VR console?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I absolutely think VR is going to take over in the next 5 or 6 years.
How much do you think that a console like that
I think
bundled
you're going to
together
see a
would be?
lot of crazy headlines like while VR is actually taking over, and you'll see the progression that happens with any kind of big thing like MMOs and stuff like that. That's really super immersive and that kind of shit. You're going to see the reports like so and so died in his room playing fucking 2 days because he didn't want to come out of GTA Online with VR or
He's
whatever,
been
right?
eating VR apples.
He was jerking
thinking it
off to
was
Leisure
gonna
Suit
sustain
Larry
him.
17, and he just didn't leave his room, right? Like, it's going to be a
Not
thing.
Make a game like that. For
And then on
VR.
top of that, all the other added applications that VR can do, like porn. As soon as porn, there's already porn on VR.
There is,
okay?
I know.
And there is actually a coalition to,
Oh, I know.
Dude,
Console sales and porn.
Blu-ray porn. Single-handedly made Blu-ray beat HD DVD. It wasn't so much PlayStation, man. Porn adopted Blu-ray, and sales went through the fucking roof when they did that.
Yeah.
It's true, man. And porn's already adopting VR, which tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
People will flock to it.
People are
watch
disgusting.
porn wherever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Want to know where the industry's going? Just follow the porn.
Yeah.
It's where all us nerdy gamers like to hang out.
Hang out with a wang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they want to be really progressive, they'll add like a little pocket pussy in the PlayStation 5 or something.
Yeah. The true
We
VR
can but hope.
experience.
I just had a bad visual there.
Yeah, I don't want to come home.
I had a
and
really
watch
good
YouTube
visual.
like that.
Everybody would name their consoles. Leave me and Brenda alone.
Oh no! Oh man, there'd be Jerry Springer episodes where you've got like your PlayStation Move pussy, like, and you're gonna marry her or whatever. Like,
Oh man.
I'm not the father. You gotta take a DNA test.
I just picture like the Lady and the Tramp scene where like I put a spaghetti string in the disk drive and just start sucking it up at an Italian restaurant.
Oh, we kissed.
That's fucking great. Yeah, I think VR is definitely going to be the takeover, but it's just to, get back on track a little bit.
I hope they have a Lady in the Tramp VR for you.
That'd be so good. Beyond that, though, what other features would you want in next-gen console already? Like, is there any downsides to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox Ones and shit that you're like, okay, this could be improved upon on the next one?
I would shit myself if somebody would actually make it so I could play with Xbox players in every game. I'm really enjoying this new news about Rocket League being able to eventually be played all together.
Right.
It would be amazing if I could.
Well, I mean, for me, it would be even more amazing if all console companies just came together and made one unified fucking console.
Yeah.
But
Nah, capitalism, not gonna happen.
no, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, just being able to hang out together would be cool. Like, fuck it, like I don't care if you want to buy an Xbox and I want to buy a PlayStation, you know, because we can fucking hang out together.
Right.
But I know that they don't want to do that because clearly the people who have like 7 friends buying an Xbox, they
Well,
want
that
to buy an Xbox.
exactly. That dips into their market.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
So that's why they're not going to do
They
it.
they want you to go to where your friends go, but they want
Exactly.
your friends on their console. Kind
Exactly.
Of, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's I can see that that's why they will never do that, but
Right.
I wish they would.
It would be nice if, I mean, I could see that it would be nice if it was up to the developers. Like, sure,
Yeah.
if it was a first-party developer that Sony owns them or Microsoft owns them, they're clearly not going to make it cross-compatible.
Right.
But if it was a third-party developer trying to get the most people playing their games online, it'd be
Yeah.
nice if they were just like, yeah, we'll open up a server. Sure, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
That would be really cool.
Right? But if you want to play Halo with all your friends, you can only do it on Xbox or whatever, right? Like,
I wonder
that
how
makes
that
sense to me.
I wonder how that talk went to get fucking Rocket League to be compatible with everybody. Like, how did that
I don't know.
even come about?
I don't know. Phil Spencer's a pretty reasonable person.
Seems like it.
I think that's kind of maybe where it went. Maybe it
Must
didn't have
be.
the numbers that the PC and PS4 had, so he was like, you know what? Fucking open it up. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
Maybe they'll
Because
give
at
it
this
for free,
stage in
those
the
guys,
game,
too.
I mean, we're almost halfway through these consoles' life cycles, I think.
Yeah, or more.
At least a year or two out from the halfway point. Probably just a year, but...
Mhm.
I think Microsoft did an honest bit of self-reflecting, and they're like, okay, we don't have nearly as many PlayStation or Xboxes sold as PlayStation, and we're just not gonna beat them this console generation. It can't happen now.
No.
Like the divide is so big that
Yeah, it's a landslide.
you know it's a landslide, and everybody's got their consoles. The
Yeah.
Xbox is gonna start to see some sales go up as they drop their prices probably a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
For the people that have, like, the
Already
late
have
adopters to the console that probably got the PlayStation first, and then they're going to go get, like us,
Mhm.
right? Got the PlayStation first. We're going to get an Xbox One when we can afford it, but as soon as they make it a bit more affordable for us,
Mhm.
until then, like, they'll see a bump again, but
Yep. Yeah, look at
until
more
then,
money
they
out.
were probably just like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's get the most people playing this game because that game is wildfire, and people still play it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, a
All
lot.
the time. All the
Yeah.
time. Did they give it to Xbox guys or with the games with gold? Do you know?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did.
I don't
yeah.
think they did, but it's only a $20 game.
It is,
well worth it.
I feel like they will give it to them for games with gold with this whole.
I have no
once,
idea.
Once they can play with PC guys and stuff like that, it would. I mean, that would be a great fucking move. Like you're like, oh hey, yeah, now it's opened up. You can play with everybody, or at least just with PC right now, and soon PlayStation 4. And,
Totally.
like, hey, it's free next month. Like,
Yeah, that'd be
you're
a good
gonna
move.
get fucking everybody on that shit.
Yeah, dude. For sure.
Yeah. So you're thinking for next console, you're thinking 4 years. You're thinking like
I'd like to
2020,
hear what Danny
2019?
wants in his next console.
Oh.
That's you, big guy.
I don't know, you guys. I remember saying to you, Nikolai, before PS4 and Xbox One came out, that what I really wanted, what I would be happy with, was pretty much the same thing, but just make them 1080, get rid of the jaggies, because they were giving me headaches, quite honestly, and try and get more like 60 frames per second games. And some of that has been a little bit of a struggle, apparently. But, I mean, it has been a good jump. I'm quite a visually stimulated person, and I always have been, so I make no excuses or apologies for being a bit of a graphics whore. So I do like to see beautiful looking games and kind of get lost in a world that feels real to me, you know. So for the next gen coming in, keep doing that and expand on the new ideas that people have and give little smaller
I think they'll
developers
always
freedom.
do that, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the...
Well, yeah, that's bread and
Natural
butter
progression,
of how bringing out a
Yeah.
new console. But like you said, VR
That's step one, right?
is
Like,
definitely
the tech can warrant it.
going to be like
Yeah.
the thing that drives it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a change in how.
And let us change our fucking name, Shu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I want to, but...
Yeah, I kind of want to, just for OCD issues.
I could do with a name change. But yeah, I think in the future a change in how we interact with our video games is what's going to get me to buy another console or be excited that a new console's coming out for sure.
Right.
Is sort of just like just something new and crazy. If I'm slapping balls around and playing Pong that way, I'd still be stoked. Like in my room, slapping balls at each other, playing Pong, and you can
do that all the time.
Float around. I know, but they're mostly slapping them out of my face. Not necessarily at your face. But,
I thought you were like slapping your own in your room, but
no.
If you want to bring me into the party, let's do it.
Exactly, always, man.
Well, yeah, that's what we kind of want, I guess. Speculation for the next gens.
Yep.
Cool, man. I enjoyed that one. Anybody else got any finishing statements?
I think we summed a lot of shit up there.
Yeah.
We sure did. And I'm kind of excited for E3 because we will hear about
the NX.
The NX. I hope Nintendo's back at E3 and not just doing a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
They have to be at E3 to show off their hardware. Yeah. I'm not sure if they've already stated that they will be. They may have. Something I might have heard. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyway, if you liked this episode, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to see some beautiful bastards every week. And, check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/theofficial DUDEPOOL Gaming. Or, nope.
No duh.
Really?
It's just official DUDEPOOL Gaming.
Do you want to throw that to me in the future?
Facebook.com/ well, I don't know why you didn't put the official dude like the. It's just official DUDEPOOL game.
Either way.
Yeah. Anyway, check us out on Twitter at DUDEPOOL Gaming.
Okay,
that's
so
correct.
Oh, I know that one's correct. Yeah. And we'll catch you next time. Adios, amigos.
Peace.